everybody. Happy morning to all of you. So, this is one of those days where today's ingredients are going to be kind of rough. Like, you want to be kind of careful with what you get up to today because of the wild lettuce, right? And, just be careful. Uh, this will give you psychic dreams and insight, right? But the way that it'll do it is going to be kind of weird. And then with the cat's claw, we're going to use that again. We're going to be using this as a drawing money, drawing fortunes, drawing visions sort of thing. And with the eye bright, that's going to be true visions. That's going to be the true sight. That's going to be stuff that's not going to be like dreams or mild hallucinations, right? Like you're going to be, depending on how you use these three ingredients, you can induce a trance and you can be stuck there for a little while, right? Like, trance work is fun if you're trying to get a resolution to something. You want to be safe when you do it. If you're going to be using a candle as a focus, make sure that it's going to be on a surface that doesn't catch fire, because you don't know if you're going to be able to do it for the entire 10 hours of the candle. Or you might look at a candle and you might be out for the entire time. Like, you might just pass the fuck out, right? And then you'll wind up dealing with some crazy vision shit. Like, that's one of those things where you just want to make sure that what you're up to and how you deal with all of this is it's going to be something that you want, right? And now, sassafras is used to draw and attract and keep money, right? Like, you can use it, shave some of it down and keep some of that shit in your wallet. Like, not gonna lie, like, that's always good to do. So, sassafras smells delightful sometimes, but a microplane is going to be one of your best friends. So if you don't have one of these things, go to your restaurant supply stores and get you one, because like, a microplane is fantastic. It's great for grinding down nutmeg. If you're doing what are they, brandy Alexander, you do like that cream cocoa on top, you get the like cocoa nibs and you just shave them down, like, fantastic. But also really good as a base for incense and things like that. So if you don't have allergies to these ingredients, then you can use this as a vision inducing incense as well, right? Again, you just want to be careful with how you do this stuff. You don't necessarily want to do it as what am I looking for? You're not trying to be edgy with this stuff. You're trying to get resolution with it, right? Like, there's got to be a reason why that not only does what you're getting up to matter when it comes to these things, but it is something that calls to you in a very unique kind of way. Like, the herbs will call to you, the application will call to you, the structure of the spell will form as you go to make it, if you do this stuff right. So again, it's when you're building out your herbs, when you're selecting which ingredients, it's for the application of something deeper, something more, to connect with the way that the spirit of the ingredients go, right? So it's like, with the spirit of the sassafras tree that I'm using, like, just this little piece, it doesn't have much life left in it, but it does have intent. Like, it was cut down for a reason. Its life should not have been in vain, right? Like, it has to serve a purpose, or it better serve a purpose in order to be able to honor the spirit of the thing that was attached to the tree in the first place, right? Gives the tree its oomph, gives the tree its vitality, gives the tree its spark. So it smells absolutely lovely, by the way. So you just want to take your microplane to it and get you a good foundation, right? Smells almost like licorice. But again, it's sassafras, so like, you could use, sarsaparilla was made out of this stuff. And then we'll do a little bit of eye braid. You want to keep the balance on these things pretty good. So it's sassafras root first. You want to do a little bit of wild lettuce, just a little bit, because it doesn't need much for this stuff. And then we'll do the cat's claw. This stuff is fibrous, so it's a pain in the ass to grind down from the other day, but it will draw things to you. So you can, again, cat's claw can go a couple of ways. And it's one of those herbs that I recommend you sit with before you start screwing with, so that way you can figure out, is this going to be something that's going to be really easy to use if I use it once? You know, or do you need to use it a couple of times in order to figure out how it's going to work best with you and the ingredients that you're working with or what you're trying to accomplish, right? So this is one of those things where, yeah, you can use this as a money powder, right? Like you can use this, you want to put it on your ancestor money and burn those scraps and send them off to the other world, you know, like Chinese magic does really cool. It's got the hell money, or it does like the paper for the ancestor money, or you can use, and like hoodoo, you can get the shavings of the money that they destroyed, and you can put a little bit of those on your altar. You mix those in some of your ingredient blends and stuff that you can burn, or you can make a mojo hand out of, and it'll draw the money to you, because what's destroyed here, what's chipped here, what's broken here is whole in the other world, right? Like that's the idea of it. So you can use this a couple of different ways. You can write petitions with this stuff out if you want to be able to draw fortunes, or because of the vision-inducing qualities to it, you can focus it specifically on what are going to be my dreams that'll make me money? What are going to be the things that will get me that next job? What are going to be the things that are going to be able to get that next level of connection to something that I'm looking to do, right? And money wants to be used for things. It wants to have a purpose. It doesn't want to just sit dead on a shelf somewhere. So when you're making stuff like this, having a vision, having a dream of what you can do with it, that's super important, right? Like, if you can figure out what it is you want to do with this, if you want to figure out what it is you want to do with life or your magic or whatever it is, a little spell like this, 4 ingredients, that's all it is, right? Sassafras? No. Yeah, sassafras root. Wild lettuce, eyebright, and cat's claw. Like, something simple. You can put this with a candle. You can put this with on some incense coal to get you some vision inducement. If you need to dream, you know, like, it can be used a couple of different ways. But again, I always say watch your allergies, because you don't know how this stuff is going to react to you the first time if you're not familiar with these ingredients. All right? Like, it does take a little bit of experimentation. It does take a little bit of, can you handle what's going to happen? Right? And how are you going to handle it when it does? Like, what's going to be the thing that's going to get you outside your comfort zone to get you to go do that? To go do that thing, to have that conversation, to take it to that next level, right? You know, it's like, are you going to be able to do a business with just some ideas? Like, are you going to be able to do, like, with the spell a day thing, like this can be an entire community project, right? Like, we can batch out the ingredients, give them to people, sell them in a bulk pack. So you could buy weeks 1, week 2, 3, 4, like all that stuff, right? It's like you make your own spells out of these ingredients, right? All 15 of them at a time. So that way you get spell kits, you get spell creation kits, so that you can go through and you can either make these along with the videos, or you can make them for yourself in your own way. Like, study the herbs, apply the herbs, do the herbs in a different way, use them in paint, use them in whatever, so that you can apply them to your life how you need those spirits, those energies to come together for your services, right? And that's one of the coolest things about witchcraft, is that you can take it and you can make it your own, but there at the same time, you know, there are some things that are just intrinsic value because they've been used for so long. Like, the ingredients have been used for so long to do so many things that, you know, you pretty much stick to the thing that those things are used for, right? Again, and that's the application of folklore. That's the application of this stuff in a way that honors the people that came before, to learn it, to apply to it, to develop it, right? And so that as we go through and as we make our spell blends, we have the means by which we can serve others with it, right? Like I said, it's always about service to others with this stuff. So, in this case, you're making a money blend that you can put a little bit of this in your wallet, you can put a little bit of this in your incense burner, you could put a little bit of this on your ancestor money, draw some money to you that way. You know, it can act as a focus. It'd be really fun if you made a talisman of Jupiter, right? Like you can use the number square Jupiter as the base because Jupiter rules wealth, right? So if you use that, blue is the color of the wealth magic, but if you're using it with Venus, with the green, you can do it for life, right? Like you the wealth and the life aspect, so that way you get that you get that energy flow through, right? So those things come about. It's all just a fun way to do that. So you can mix it with different colors. Like you could use the squares blue, and then the sigil you draw is green, or what have you, right? But here we go. So that is your spell for the day, my friends. I hope it brings you some fortune, and if you do wind up burning it, I hope that you do get some fun visions off of it. Again, I'm just going to use these as a way not to waste the ingredients. Catch what falls, and then put it back in. But this stuff, like I said, I'm going to be mixing it with like denatured alcohol, so that way I can get the spirits, all of it, extracted out and recombined into one. The spells of animation that are in the Grimoire of Arts are what I'm going to use to blend all of these things together, so that way when it's done, it's all set and ready. So there you are, my friends. Stay safe, mind your allergies with this stuff, explore the uses of how the wild lettuce, the eyebright, the cat's claw, and the sassafras will work for you. And I look forward to seeing you in the comments, my friends. Bye for now, y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow.